Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Karben on Air. I want to just take a minute to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your day to watch this video series, and I hope that each and every one of you can take something from this and hopefully it inspires you in some way. I just want to also say that I am the host of this show if you were wondering, so I apologize in advance for that. Just to recap, I mentioned before, the show is going to be a lot of different things. We'll talk about entrepreneurship, running your own business, and kind of talking about the past 8 years for me, the successes and failures that I've had. So hopefully that will help you, whatever endeavor you may be pursuing. We'll also be having guest interviews with people that will hopefully inspire you and help you. And we'll also be giving giveaways. We'll be having Q&A sessions, so we can kind of have a two-way conversation and it's not just me talking to you all the time. And so I mentioned giveaways. We're going to have our first giveaway at the end of this show, and we'll be having the biggest one in honor of our first show, so make sure you stick around for that. I also want to mention that there will be a podcast version of this series, so if you're a podcast listener and you prefer that, I will be posting a link to that as well. So to get started here, I want to talk about getting started in whatever endeavor that may be for you, and then really the fear that is associated with getting started that really cripples all of us. Each of us have that fear. I have that fear. What if I start something and I fail? I have a family to support. I can't let them down. What if I do something and it's a complete flop? What if I'm embarrassed by it? Those are all legitimate fears that we have. We just need to learn to get over those fears so that we can truly pursue our dreams. And I want to tell you a quick story around that as well. So many of you know Jim Carrey. Not all of you may know he also does motivational speaking, and a couple of years ago he did a speech for a college and he told a story about his father. His father was also a comedian, and he could have been a great comedian, but he decided to take the safer route because he had a family to support. So instead of following comedy, he took a job as an accountant. That was supposed to be the safest route. Everyone told him, become an accountant, you'll get a good wage, you'll get your benefits. When Jim Carrey was 12, his father lost that job as an accountant, and the family was forced to fend for themselves, which led to a very rough upbringing for him. So the big takeaway from that is that you can fail at something you absolutely hate. So you might as well try something that you love and potentially fail than do something that just makes you depressed, makes you hate waking up every morning. There's no reason for that. If you can do something that you love and you enjoy every minute of it, then you should do that and risk that failure. And if you do fail at that, that's how you learn, and that's how you can grow and do better in your next endeavor that you have. I think another issue that people have is everyone out there, all the successful people say, follow your dreams. Keep working, follow your dreams. But follow your dreams is a big ask. Follow your dreams. What does that mean? I'm here. I haven't started yet. How am I supposed to follow my dreams? So I want to break that down into more actionable steps, more digestible steps that you can follow so that you can follow your dreams. Because just saying follow your dreams doesn't mean anything. It's like a participation ribbon. It makes you feel good for a little while, but it doesn't actually mean anything. You go home and maybe it excites you for a little while. You start thinking about all these things that you could do. And then you kind of come back to reality and you start making excuses. And once you get to that level, once you start making excuses, there's no way you're going to be able to do anything. You're going to stop. You're always going to say, I can't, I got this. I'm too busy. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of this. I'm too busy. That's a killer right there. Once you get to that level, you might as well just give up. So instead of making those excuses, what I want to push you to do is to start right now. I don't want you to start tomorrow. I don't want you to start next week, next month, next year. I want you to start today. I know what you're thinking. I got to get my hair done in 9 minutes. I don't have time for that. You can start wherever you are. You always have time. Everyone says that they don't have any time in their day. You have minutes in your day. You have hours in your day that you can just sit. Whether it be when you're watching TV, before you go to bed, while you're commuting to work, you can start making a list of what you want to do. And it's not just starting your own business, it's whatever applies to your life. if you want to write a book, if you want to get that promotion at work, if you're an athlete and you're trying to make a sports team and you can't decide if you want to go out, whatever that may be for you, you just need to get started and I would suggest making a list of actionable items that you can take over the next week, over the next month, and then set deadlines for each one so that you stay true to yourself and you follow those steps. Because getting started is really the easy part. Everybody thinks that's such an immense task, but that's truly the easiest part. The work comes later, but you're never going to get to that step if you don't get started. So I really challenge you to get started today, and hopefully next week, Wednesday, when I have my next episode, you'll have already started and you can start learning the next step that I'm going to present to you, and you can build with me in this video series. I also would love to hear what you're working on. If you want to send me a message, I'd love to have a conversation with you and see if I can help you. Obviously, I'm not an expert, but I have gone through a lot with my companies, and I'd be happy to give you any direction that I can. And I just love to hear other people's stories and other fellow entrepreneurs and what they're working on. So feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, on my website at chadaddie.com, or wherever. And look, I don't care how old you are, if you're 15 years old, if you're 85 years old, it's never too early, it's never too late to get started. There's always those passions that you've had that you always wanted to pursue, and it's just that fear holding us back. It holds me back. Obviously, I was hesitant to do this video series. This isn't something I'm used to doing. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but it's always something I've thought about, and I knew that if I didn't do it, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. So here I am doing it. We just need to try and look past that fear. I've learned over the last couple of years that, rather than be afraid of failing in the immediate future, I'd much rather go through that than to be on my deathbed in 100,000 years, of course, when I'm 100,000 years old. And I'm surrounded by all of you who are also 100,000 years old. And I just look back and regret not doing something. I want to be fulfilled when I get to that point. I wanted to have tried everything that I've wanted to, check everything off that bucket list. I'd rather fail now than regret it later, regret never even trying it. So I really challenge you, please get started today on whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing, any of your passions. Just get started. And if you have questions on how to get started based on whatever you're pursuing, please reach out and I will help you with that. So now on to the fun part of the video, our giveaways. As I said, we're going to have some more giveaways for this episode, just to thank everyone for following me and for supporting me in any way you have. So this show is sponsored by Dare to Be Clothing. As you know, I manage a DJ Shauna, and she created her own fashion line called Dare to Be Clothing, daretobeclothing.com. So we'll be giving away some prizes from that, and the first of which is the Dare to Be snapback. And then secondly, as a runner-up, I will be giving away 3 of these Dare to Be wristbands. So how do you enter? If you like this video, I will give you 1 entry into winning one of these prizes. If you comment on the video, whatever you want to say, I will give you 2 entries. If you share this, I will give you 3 entries. And if I get 50 shares on this video in the first week, I will rap for you in my next video, which is something that may make me even more comfortable than this video series itself. So that's all I have for this episode. I hope this helped you guys in some way and inspired you to get started, as I mentioned. I will be seeing you again next Wednesday for our next episode, hopefully. But until then, have a great week. Keep doing what you love, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.